common low back pain diagnosis is stenosis. Stenosis is just a fancy way of saying something's getting compressed. To understand what's getting compressed, we first need to understand a few underlying structures of your body, and then you can figure out where the pressure points are that you want to alleviate. Let's take a look. So if we take the actual pelvis itself and the surrounding hip, structurally, the sacrum, we want to look at this whole area, what I call the core. So marketing may have it saying, say you got your core as your midsection, your abdominals. These are great because we do definitely a good strong core, something to actually go in there and activate to keep our spine in control. But let's look at a little bit more central point, because whether you move your arm from the side or my leg out away, it's always going to come back to our center point, usually around the belly button. But let's just go a little bit lower from a structural standpoint, and then that way you can get a bigger picture and understand a better positioning of how to address your issue. So let's think about this here. We have the backside here, your pelvis, which each side is going to be doing something a little bit different, but many times it does move as a whole. So we don't want to get too caught up on the intrinsics of it, but understand that if you have a better understanding of the main points of it, the main pressure points, then you have a better understanding of how to control your low back pain, the stenosis, or the pain running down your leg. So let's look at the pelvis here. You have left and right. Each are going to be doing something a little bit different depending on your hand dominance. And let's just say, for example, you're right-handed. Usually there's going to be maybe an elevation, maybe a slight rotation, or sometimes a little bit of both. So there's a counter rotation that happens at your two SI joints. So you have a little bit of a slippage. So right versus left, these two SI joints, or sacroiliac joints, aren't quite doing their job, meaning when these bones don't line up, they can't feed your joint receptors, getting those nerves to fire in the first place. Thus, those muscles aren't kicking in around your main area, the center point that you need to actually have the most stability and mobility to improve your overall human function performance. So we look at this area here and we say, okay, if we can get a better alignment other than an elevation, a rotation, then we have an understanding of how it affects your spine moving up. So it's not pressuring those nerve roots, the stenosis that you're experiencing, the pressure point. So it's a game of alignment and a game of forces. We go in here, we take care of the big bones that address the small bones, and we win. So if you have a better ability to get this in a better position, then you're not having so much tension tightness that's keeping your low back locked in. These vertebrae that sit on top, and then you have disc in between, get compressed. That compression, whether it's a disc bulge pressing on the nerve root or in general loss of maybe disc height from degeneration over a period of time, or a lot of times, it's just inability to actually get that good alignment, so you have that increased pressure on those nerve roots running out. So what you want to look at is how these bones are lined up, so we're not pressing on those nerve roots that are running out. Again, it's a lot of moving pieces, but you can simplify this by just looking at a few main points that are not moving like they should or not aligned up like they should be. That's adding that extra compression, causing that stenosis, causing the pain down the leg. So when we think, again, it's that whiplash effect, or even taking that rag, wringing it, something gets rotated, then there's going to be a counter rotation happening up on top or even below. So just going there, releasing those main areas, letting things calm down, letting the nervous system calm down, getting those muscles so tight and bound up to relax, and then go in there and start playing the game of how are these positioned? How is that nerve root that's running out? Is it still getting compressed? And then you start to see the symptoms subside, so you have a more direct answer of where to head next. But the first is hitting the basics, and the main thing is getting that alignment so you can get the vertebrae in a correct position so that nerve root's not running out, not getting compressed, and you're not getting that pain down the leg. So again, stenosis can have a fancy name, but it's also just saying something's getting compressed. It will cause that sciatica sometimes, the pain in the back of the leg. These are all related. All these symptoms or conditions that you may be labeled or given are all different symptoms of something that's going on in the body saying, hey, I'm out of alignment. I need some attention. Now, if there's a trauma or there's an injury to the area, it's a little bit different approach, but there's a lot of similarity, and you take the same approach to improve all human function performance and alleviate that low back pain that you're experiencing from the stenosis.